Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly revisit Valheim. This is a game that you can normally find on Steam for about 20 bucks or so, but there is a sale going on right now as part of Steam's holiday sale, and I believe it's like 40% off. So you can get the game for about $12 if you like what you see here, and I believe that sale lasts until January 4th, 2024. It's hard to believe that we're that far. Anyway, so it's in early access still, so everything that you're about to see is subject to change. And I have covered this game prior, although it was like 2 or 3 years ago. The game has been updated since then. Not a whole lot, but it has some new features and new content. For example, there are world modifiers now, and you can actually adjust like resource rate. You can adjust whether or not all items go through portals, whereas before by default certain metals couldn't go through portals, which is like a fast travel system. So there is a light customization here. You can make the game and combat a little easier, but even still, even on the very easy setting when you're playing solo anyway, it's still a challenge, I find. I breezed through the first 2 bosses in the first 2 biomes, but I'm currently in the swamps right now fighting the 3rd boss there, and it's like biomass or something or other, bone mass, that's it. And he just, the difficulty spikes. So I still think there's an issue there. It could have something to do with the resistances that he has. I think maybe he's resistant to my sword, which I usually use. So I'm in the process of grinding out iron so I can craft an iron mace and have at him that way, and also craft some poison resist. But anyway, for those of you tuning in for the first time and haven't seen my review like 2 years ago, this is an open world survival game with like a Viking theme. The graphics are like high-tech Minecraft. I don't know what the exact term for it is. I'm not very technical, but you'll notice it's pixely, but it's also a very nice looking pixely kind of game. And I would have played this game a lot more often, but throughout the years, this game has been taxing on my system. It's just, I feel like it's not fully optimized. In fact, when I gave the game a go with my brother and my fiance like 6 months ago, I would constantly blue screen, and it would have to reset my computer. And I eventually like underclocked my computer so that it wouldn't overheat so much. I don't know too much about that stuff. I had to go into the computer, PC, BIOS, or whatever it's called, and get rid of the default overclock that was set up during the factory setup, whatever. That's what I did, and everything seems to be running a bit more smoothly now. I'm also using MSI Afterburner to sort of limit my processing speed and the like too, so that seems to have helped. I haven't had a single crash yet in the 10 plus hours that I'm on this current playthrough, which is great. Again, open world survival game. There are 6 different biomes, I believe, and 6 different bosses, and I know it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but each biome is fairly large. Each biome requires a little bit of grinding. Like the swamp area is pretty toxic, so you need like poison resist, and you can even upgrade your gear and at the various stations too to make yourself better. One thing I think the game could do better is there's sort of a lack of direction in some places. You're like, well, what do I do next? It is my biggest thing with this game. I often find myself on a wiki somewhere trying to figure out what it is I'm supposed to do next. What material am I on the lookout for, and where can I find it? That's the biggest thing. Like, eventually, if you just explore enough, you'll eventually run into these things on your own. But because the world is so large, it's like, well, you could spend a couple of hours roaming around and not find that specific thing that you're looking for. Because recipes only unlock when you find something new, some kind of new material. So if you find iron for the first time, oh, there's pop recipes coming up. And I'm still discovering new things, even though I'm pretty much almost done with the swamp biome, with the exception of the boss that I'm still grinding out for. So yeah, combat isn't bad either. A lot of it is just, you can either use a single-handed weapon or, a two-handed weapon. Some do AoE. My favorite part of the game really is the weather and the art style, like it's just very satisfying roaming around the forest, which is one of the biomes, and just appreciating all that's around you. Um, in this game, everything still wants to kill you, like before. Even though if you have it on a very easy setting, if a tree falls on you, that's pretty much game over at that point. You have to respawn. Speaking of which, if you do die, you can go back to your corpse, pick everything up. There is a setting on the like the world settings to which when you die, you get to keep some of your gear now, but not all of it. Like, you don't keep all of your inventory. So, like I said, there are limited customization options. I really think the developers should expand on that world settings menu, and offer more options to the player. I think that would be great. Like, keep all inventory would have been nice. Or maybe reveal the map, or some kind of map like preview, so that when you're randomly generating a map for your playthrough, or you're typing in a particular seed, you know what to expect via a preview. And I wish you could like customize that further. Filter, say, I want at least 3 bosses in my biome. I want at least 2 biomes on my starter island, because there's like rafting in this game. I have a seed that I'm using that has like the first 3 or 4 bosses are on my starter island, along with a trader. It's really convenient. So like, I haven't had to build a ship yet and travel overseas. But the biggest thing that made me come back to this was the fact that you can now fast travel with the portals with any material that you want. People were getting around that for like years by like logging out, moving your character to a different part of like the world, and then logging back in, and then like, so like you're juking it kind of sort of with multiple save files by instantly teleporting your character that has all the heavy metal stuff. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's hard to explain, but it could have been done. And I can't believe it took the developer this long to introduce settings to bypass that silly workaround. But like, all in all, it's a fairly satisfying game. The nighttime is extremely creepy in this game. And some of the monsters that I come across are equally as frightening. Like, what I often run in this game away from things that I've never seen before, because I don't know what to expect from them. Because again, it's very easy to die in this game if you're just careless and you're not prepared. When my first time playing Valheim, I died in the mountain biome because I didn't know cold would kill you that fast. You know what I mean? Just various things you'll discover as you play this game. So I recommend it at this point, considering that the game is $12 right now on sale. I have over 100 hours on Steam, so I definitely got my money's worth out of this. And even though like the graphics aren't great, and I still feel like optimization could be a bit better, it has made a lot of strides, and I think it is like, it's worth playing now, so as long as you don't run into any graphical issues and computer issues. But other than that, like, it's just make sure that you read the PC specs and that you can handle it. So there you go, folks. That was a revisit of Valheim. Again, you can play with friends too. You don't have to play this solo. Definitely more fun with friends. But yeah, check this game out. It'll keep you busy for quite a while. And the base building, which is my favorite part of these kinds of games, is very satisfying to boot. Between building houses and then eventually stone houses. And it's fun. There's a physics system. Things could fall apart if you don't support walls and the like, but it's still satisfying and fun to learn. Highly recommend giving yourself some leeway with those world settings, which you can change mid-game, by the way. So if you find something too easy, you can always up the difficulty. Well, this is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you all next time. Take care.